Well, it surprised me the results. Well, not Liverpool winning, but the way in which they won.
Yeah.
The capitulation of United, the display was awful. I mean, we've, for the last few weeks, talked about United on here, haven't we? And we kind of saw it coming, but not a 5-0 at home to Liverpool. You expect more. So, yeah, it's a big week for United, isn't it? Are they going to make the decision to sack him or move him on? We'll have to wait and see, but there are real problems, inherent problems in that squad. Attitude and application is the starting point of it. The rest comes after. But if you don't have that, then you haven't got a chance. They're getting outplayed by not just good teams, by average teams as well. This wasn't a one-off. Sometimes you can play a game and have a really crap day. But this has been coming, and the performances are just not good enough.
Now, attitude and application problems amongst the players, Danny, in spite of the manager or because of the manager?
Both, but both, because you have a personal pride and you have to get yourself going and put the effort in and put you up for yourself and your family, the club, and all that. But the manager dictates the way the players play, the tempo you play at, the attitude you show, the way you train, the way you conduct yourself, all of it. It comes from above.
Yeah.
And as we said on many occasions, the repercussions for bad performances and lack of effort aren't there.
Yeah.
And they haven't been there for quite a while. So, I mean, the stats are just damning, aren't they? The physical stats, the numbers now that we can see where United are bottom of the table in so many areas of their defensive play. You can't hide behind that. Well, your eyes tell you, never mind the stats. So I don't see how you can turn it round. I think it's gone too far the other way.
Well, I mean, when you mention stats, I mean, Simon, when you look at it, Manchester United now the worst team in the Premier League when it comes to tackles per game and errors leading to shots on goal. So here we go. Many months ago, it seems now, you came away with the immortal phrase, Ollie, it's time, get your coat. No. Ollie, get your coat. Yeah. Now, I know you take no delight in this, Simon, but now, is this the time that you should indeed head to the coat peg?
Well, people are joining in the chorus. I mean, I said 3 years ago when he was first given the job that, it was an unavoidable mistake to have given it to him in the first place because they beat PSG, and I can understand the reasons why they thought they were giving it to him. Look, piling in on him now is like pulling the legs off a spider or pouring salt on a slug. It's not difficult to do, and it's not necessary. It's clearly evident. Wanting someone sacked and looking at Ole Gunnar Solskjaer after the game, it almost feels like you're clubbing Bambi. You don't need to do it. And the bigger thing for me is looking at the culture of the playing squad, looking at the attitude. There are some pundits out there that need to roll back a little bit because they've coerced this poor bugger into actually thinking he can do the job. They've convinced him in some way or another that he's actually capable of doing this job. And the challenge for him is now coming out. Graham Souness was very blunt yesterday. I thought Jamie Carragher was very blunt. I didn't understand where Gary Neville was going with some of the things that he was saying because, Gary doesn't speak for Manchester United. Gary speaks for Gary, and he doesn't understand what Man United are and aren't going to do. But Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is and remains a very decent football manager and a very decent human being. But at the business end of sport, it's about elite guys. And unless I've blinked and missed it or not read the memo, I thought Manchester United wanted to maintain being an elite football club. And it's almost laughable, the abdication of responsibility from the directors of the football club. They haven't just abdicated responsibility, they've also abdicated it by giving him a checkbook as well. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer cannot build this team into a team that's capable of overturning Jurgen Klopp's team, Thomas Tuchel's team, Pep Guardiola's team.
Yeah.
It's like, and the ridiculous thing now is that it's like asking a one-legged man to run 100 metres in under 10 seconds and then telling him off for doing something that he can't do. It's now becoming ridiculous because clearly everybody with half a brain knows that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer isn't really, you might wish it so, but wishing it doesn't make it so. He isn't capable of managing these players, getting from these players what's required, and some of the observations that are being made by pundits are just silly. Rio Ferdinand made silly observations a year ago. Gary was making silly ones yesterday. The evidence is clear. Doesn't matter how many players you bring in. The culture, the temperature, the tone, the tactics of this football club are set by an individual that has the gravitas to concentrate the minds of elite footballers. He doesn't have that factor. It doesn't make him an absolute abject failure. It doesn't make him an awful football manager. It just makes him just that little bit short for what's required from Manchester United.
So what should happen, Simon? In a sentence, take me to the break. You've said what you've said. What should happen
I
next?
think if people are resistant, and they seem to be resistant in the Manchester United boardroom to be able to make changes because they're handing out new contracts like confetti to those that are there, then Graham Souness's observation yesterday was a relatively pertinent one. It does undermine Solskjaer, but then again, it depends how you bring another person into the room. If you bring an elite coach in, with respect to who's there, they don't have one. They have good coaches and young coaches and Manchester United associated coaches, but they don't have an elite coach, an elite number 2 to work alongside Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. That might be a short-term fix to get him out of what's coming. What's coming is a deluge of people starting to back away from it now. You're now starting to hear people say the very things that we said 3 years ago, which is, what were the credentials for the job? Cardiff, Mulder, this is all coming out now. What's the manager got? He's not an elite manager, and you're hearing it from more voices. So it's going to be a death by 1,000 cuts for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer because it's going to go week in, week out. He's going to get a good result, then a smack.
Right.
A week good result, then a smack.
Yeah.
Thanks for that one sentence.
Well, there's Ryan. Yes, exactly. There's Ryan, one of many getting in touch this morning. Manchester United's biggest mistake was getting excited and giving Ole a contract before the season was over when he was the interim manager. Had they not done that, he wouldn't be there now. And it is tough because I know him, I've met him. He is a lovely guy, but is he the right guy to carry on in the job? That's what it comes down to this morning. It's as simple as 08717 223344 81089.
Jim White and Simon Jordan, Monday to Thursday morning 10 till 1 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.